Okay, welcome to today's video. TechyTim here, and today I'm going to have a look at Revo Uninstaller and also Glary Utilities. Now the reason you would use either of these programs or both is one, to sort of clean up any issues that your Windows may have. I'm on a Windows 7 VM virtual machine, and I've got a program installed called Skype, and it may or may not be having issues, and we're going to uninstall it using Revo Uninstaller, and then we're going to have a look at Glary Utilities. So you can get Revo at the Revo Uninstaller website, and once you've installed it you get this icon. So I'm just going to left click it, and it's loaded up. And so because this is a virtual machine, there isn't a lot installed on it. So if you're going to uninstall a program, you can use the normal Windows one. So that's going to start and typing appwiz.cpl, and you can do it this way. The reason you might not want to use the normal Windows solution is that it may leave things in the registry, files and settings that's put elsewhere, and it doesn't kind of clean itself up. Windows tries to do it, but it tends to leave things. So we're going to look at Revo, and Revo has a couple of nice little features, and this is just the free version. So as you can see, there's an upgrade to Pro version. I'm not sure what the price is, but you can go and look at their website. So I'm going to highlight Skype just by left clicking my mouse, and if I right click it I get some options. I can either uninstall it, search for Google for whatever version it is, open the About link, open the registry. You can export a list of programs you've got installed. You can also click the uninstaller button up here, or we could show the tools panel, and Revo also has a number of other features, things like auto run manager, clean up those things. It's got junk files, which you can get it to scan for unnecessary files. Let's have a look at that. There's also browser cleaners and office cleaners. You know, Microsoft Office sometimes has issues, particularly the older ones. There's also a Windows cleaner. That's part of like the junk cleaning stuff. I think I'll just move on and cancel this for the moment if it lets me. Yeah, perhaps that isn't working too well for me, maybe on this virtual machine. So I'm going to go back to Uninstaller and click on the program I want, and I'm going to right click on it and hit Uninstall, where Revo will create a system restore point, and in case something goes wrong, Skype uninstalls. So this is the uninstaller from Skype itself. So it says completely remove Skype and all of its components. So we say yes. It says to remove from your computer. Okay. And the third little thing is the scanning modes, and I tend to leave it on moderate as it's already ticked it. and it says includes safe mode and performs extended scan to find all the application's leftover information in most common places of the registry and on the hard drive. You can do an advanced one, which is sort of the same thing, but it does more, does a longer scan. And there's of course the safe mode, which is sort of the fastest mode, but it may miss some things. So I'm going to leave it on the moderate one, and I'll just hit the scan button. And it shouldn't take very long. It's found a few things in the registry. And so I'm going to click select all and delete. And it moves on to the next thing, found leftover files and folders. Let's open this up bigger, maybe I'll just move this up. And it's found a bunch of files in your user data folder, your app data, and roaming, which is all part of your profile. And we're going to select all of these and click delete as well. Yes, I want to do that, and it's done. It's gone. Now there are various other modes, there's options and things you can do here. Uninstaller, you can tick various options there, and the junk cleaner, enable, disable extensions and things. And refresh, you might need to use that sometimes. Different views, you can have icons, list, and details. I think I prefer details. There's also a help file, online support, and feedback, and the home page. You can see this is the latest one of this time, version 2.0.6, and RevoUninstaller.com is their website, and it's a freeware one. Of course, you could decide to go for the Pro version, which may include a lot of other features and things, but for the simple task of just cleaning up and removing a program that's having trouble, or you just don't want it anymore, or it's caused problems with conflicts with other programs. Hunter mode, you can switch to hunter mode. I think that means maybe possibly you can do things like dragging a shortcut to it, and unresolved, trying to point to another window icon, taskbar item, or right mouse click over the hunter, select exit. Yes, I think you can drag programs to that, and it supposedly will go hunt for things. I've only ever used it probably the first time, and okay, so yeah, that's probably not something that I would use. I would just use it for its normal uninstall process. Okay, the other thing that I will look at is Glary Utilities. Of course, there is CCleaner as well. CCleaner is pretty good for doing similar things to Revo and Glary Utilities. That's also available as a free download as well. But I'm going to have a quick look at some of the things inside this program. So we have one-click maintenance. Sorry, go back to overview. There's all sorts of things you can do. You can access some of these programs down here from icons below. There's a one-click maintenance which allows you to tick certain objects. See these tools and things that are here, and they're also listed down here as hot links. If we go back to click one-click maintenance, you can tick on certain categories that will go and fix automatically which is not bad for the a base user. I'm going to go to the advanced tools, and I just want to see if there's anything to clean up. Also going to do a registry repair in case it finds things in the registry, and of course it's also got its own uninstall manager, so we could do the same thing. So I might want to remove Google Chrome. So if I do that, now it says, are you sure you want to uninstall Google Chrome? Also delete browsing data, so let's do that. Let's just say we want to change the default browser, so I'm just going to put that to Firefox at the moment. You don't have to do that, it'll just stay as one thing, but I might do that. And of course it's going to open up a browser anyway to a support. Just close that. And it doesn't appear to be doing much more than it's already done. Oh no, there we go, it's refreshed, and that's gone now. Of course, if I did do that, I'd probably want to go through disk cleanup and registry repair. So let's do that now. And it does an automatic scan, and it says it's found 1.16 megabytes. It's not a lot on this thing because it's a virtual machine, so it's only used for testing, and so it doesn't always have a lot of stuff on there. And it's found a lot of log files and temporary files, not many, but he will go and look through that anyway. So just start cleaning. It's recovered that. You may get more than that. I'll do registry repair. One problem found: obsolete software problems. App data low. Not sure any of that. We'll just do repair. That'll just remove it or do what it needs to do. We can scan again just in case there's any more. And that's fine. You could do a deep scan if you wish. That's a pro feature. Okay. And it's got all sorts of things you can do. Optimize, improve. It's got a disk defrag. It's got a memory optimizer, registry defrag. That's kind of an interesting one. It's sort of defragging the registry. It's not something you'd probably do all the time. It'll be something that maybe after 3 months or more, if you think you're getting issues and things, and you do these sort of cleanups and things, so go through the cleanups or the one-click maintenance. These are also things that you'd probably would only do between 1 and 3 months, maybe 1 and 6 months. Disk defrags Windows, although I'm on Windows 7. If you're on Windows 10, it kind of sort of happens automatically anyhow. But if you wish to manually sort of check that, click on that and it will show you a representation. You can see it's all in the green, which means it's not fragmented. Red, there doesn't seem to be any red, although you can actually give it a it's got defrag a folder, which is similar to another program, so you can pick a folder and just defrag that area. defrag a file, you can point that to a file, so there may be quite a big contiguous file. Please don't try to defrag some of the Windows system files that they're normally read anyhow. If you do have sometimes you can end up with problems from doing that. Please don't also, if you have a solid state hard drive, the one with the memory chips and things, please do not defrag those. It may have, actually I'm not sure, does this have a defrag and optimize? Yeah, it may not have an optimize function, which is just really doing like a trim, like a sort of a trim, because solid states sort of have a bit of a sort of garbage build up, and although they do their own cleanup at some point, you can always check and see if there's anything there to be cleared and clear it. I'm not sure if this one actually has it, but if you're on Windows 10, that has an optimize function, so you can click on any SSD and click optimize, and it'll just run the trim utility inside the solid state device. Tools, priority, okay. We can do like an analyze. So okay, analyzing, and it said it's found some stuff. There's also a boot time one, and you can defrag the page file and the file table, those sorts of things. I'm not 100% sure how well that'll go. Boot time defrag in itself is probably okay because nothing else is running other than the start boot, and so it may be able to access certain files like these system files and things that are not available when you're actually logged into Windows. So I wouldn't really do those unless you've got some real problems. If you do have some real bad problems, you may need to consult someone to try and work that out, if you're not confident doing it. But some of these are just basic things you can do to help your system along in a preventative way. Alright, so Startup Manager, these are just sort of things that can sort of running, for some reason the C cleaner is running down here, so let's get rid of that. So you can sort of enable and disable things. You can see what tasks are running. If you don't know what any of this is, then I would just leave it, not do it. Driver Manager, this is one probably not really for the average user to play with, but it's something that I've found kind of interesting, that it will highlight the sort of driver files that are, you know, things for your specific video card or sound card, or something that Windows itself did not install and you had to manually install from a disk or from a file downloaded from the internet. This will allow you to uninstall them, back them up, restore them. Handy if you're switching computers in some way, or switching over to another machine and you're putting that same hardware in there. You can back up a driver, especially if you're replacing a hard drive in your own machine. You might want to back that up, so you can do a fresh install of the operating system, and then this will allow you to restore those drivers without you having to go and re-download them. Not ever tested that. I haven't had any need to test that, but that's quite a useful feature that I may use in the future actually. Check disk is similar to the same as the one that's sort of built into Windows, that you can access their version through this. That's a good one if you're having issues with dirty and like a dirty drive type situation. This will see that there's no corrupt files, and it'll try and repair or recover those things so that next time you boot up it might not have to check for anything that's missing. No errors found, that's all good. There's a few privacy and security things. File shredder, if you want to completely erase a file so it's not recoverable, you can do that. This one, wipe free space, this is not for your local disk. If you had another hard drive that you have already backed up the data on it, or just really want to give it a good wipe, so it's basically a format, but it's going to be sort of, if you're going to replace a drive and you might give that drive away to a friend because it's still very good but you're upgrading to a bigger size and you don't have the need for it, that's a good way to clean off a drive and hand it somewhere. Or if you're just going to throw it away, add a drive to your machine and wipe it, as long as you've backed up your own data or done deleted things and made sure you're not going to lose anything. But file shredder will allow you to add a file that you're going to delete anyhow. There's possibly something you can do with a recycling bin. CCleaner has an option already when you install it for opening CCleaner and running CCleaner. Instead of just emptying the recycling bin, it'll go through and clean it, or at least give you some more options for that. There's an undelete utility in case you accidentally delete a file and empty the recycling bin. This may be able to go and recover files, so this might see all sorts of things. There's a folder here somehow. It may or may not show up. See, it's got Google Update setup.exe. Says it's in good condition, so it could actually be recovered. It says it's from a folder called 60214, but I think that's actually just the sector on the drive, so it may not reconstruct the name, so you just have to be a little bit careful about that. I don't know. If I go to program files, that's the Google folder, and it's found temporary files, it's found stuff that we've deleted. What else? Things that were on the trash, like Skype.exe was deleted, things like that. And they should be able to restore those. Crypto wouldn't touch unless you know what that is. It's just if you want to encrypt files that only you want to be able to decrypt, or someone else to decrypt if you give them the password. It could be useful, but it's something again I wouldn't use, just in case if you forget what that password is, or don't write it down, or it's just a safeguard thing. Browser assistant. This is just in case things like your start page and things, pop-ups and places you visit on the internet, sometimes you might get a little bug that affects that, and say you get rid of that home page and you put your one back and then you reopen it again, and suddenly you've got the corrupt sort of search page or the start page or things. This will probably be able to get rid of those, find out where it's actually coming from on your hard drive. Again, something to only use if you absolutely need to. Disk space analyzers are kind of a favorite one. There's other utilities out there will do same thing, but this is a nice little built-in thing. So let's open up this bigger, just so you can see. So you've got a pie graph showing you where things are that are taking up what percentage. Obviously you don't want to delete any of the Windows operating system stuff, but say you go to what's another one, probably documents, probably maybe users and your user folder. This would be a way to find stuff, like if you've got a lot of pictures, this will tell you how big your pictures folder is, and maybe you want to back them up if you haven't already done that. So this will tell you how much you're going to need of space to back up. Yeah, that's quite a nice little program, that one. Search, and there's system tools, registry backup, system information. It's not bad. That shows you what your hardware is. So if someone says, how much RAM do you have? Yeah, you can go to this and this will do it. Other than that, if you're in Windows, you could find system info, tells you that. System tools, is it? Disk cleanup, so you got disk cleanup, disk defrag. Windows 10, it's a little bit different. You have a couple of those missing. Let's see, where is that? It's usually sysinfo, but this is under maintenance, help and support. No, that's all that stuff. You could search for it, maybe system information. It's just the Windows one, and that tells you some similar information. However, this one has nice little icons and simple things. System devices, so this is the one you'd say, okay, well, this is VirtualBox. This is the motherboard, which is made by Oracle Corporation, whereas my actual machine that I'm using to capture this would be completely different. It would say Asus and the board name and that sort of thing. CPU tells you what that is. I think create a report. Yeah, so let's say you contact someone for support over the phone, and that company says, do you know what your information is about your machine? You could say, look, I've got Glary Utilities and I can send you a report. So you create report, and it's a text file, so just name what it is. This report, something like that. And then you can send this file in an email to that tech person, and they'll be able to see that you've got this motherboard, this amount of RAM, that could be useful for someone. Yeah, so that's a nice little program that probably haven't used for quite a while, but this is the latest version, so I thought I'd have a look at it. And that's that. So Revo Uninstaller and Glary Utilities, or even CCleaner, are quite useful programs. Okay, so I think it's about time to end this, so TechyTim out. Thanks for watching.